Outer Banks this week presents The Other Side of Fishing with Captain Marty Brill, a time when the captain shares his deepest thoughts, gives fishing advice, and entertains guests. So here he is, Captain Marty.
All right, back with another edition of The Other Side of Fishing with Captain Marty. Oh my gosh, Cap, how the heck are you?
Doing good, Justin. Doing really good. Making it to the Valentine's Day weekend. One person I have to give a Valentine to is two granddaughters.
Your two granddaughters. I was about to say, you better make sure you got them squared away, and maybe if you got some time, throw something in for for Katie.
Yeah, yes. I do. But as you know, married to someone that can't have a whole lot of sugar. Katie can't have a whole lot of sugar, but there are other things that it's not all about candy.
Maybe get her like a heart-shaped piece of lettuce or something.
Yeah, that would be a real kicker.
You know, a heart-shaped piece of broccoli or a heart-shaped.
She would love it because that's about how she eats most of the time.
Eats all that rabbit food like that?
Oh, yeah.
I need to eat more of it myself.
Yeah.
Well, Cap, let me we'd be remiss to not mention the fact that your programming here with The Other Side of Fishing is all brought to you by Red Drum Tackle in Buxton, the closest tackle shop to Cape Point. Down there in Buxton on Hatteras Island. Wonderful people down there with Miss Kara and her son Bobby and just the whole crowd down there ready to get you outfitted to go out on the beach, do some beach fishing, maybe even go out in the ocean for a little bit. I mean, they got rods, reels, tackle, bait. I mean, they've got and I think, what was Miss Kara telling us last time we talked to her? She was at a gun show. Talking about maybe carrying ammo.
I'm going to probably add a ammo line to Red Drum Tackle in Buxton.
Well, that'd be something to see for sure. So that's definitely awesome. We're very thankful to have them back.
Don't forget that just a couple years ago, it was almost impossible to even buy ammo.
That's right.
Especially in the COVID era. I mean, you couldn't find ammo anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's good to have a local business down on Hatteras Island. Joining in and having some ammo. Most, I think, they'll cater to the duck hunters, which is a big deal down there.
Absolutely. Well, very proud to have them back as presenting sponsors for the year 2026 with Captain Marty. So we're very thankful to have Red Drum Tackle. And, of course, they're online at reddrumtackle.com. And, of course, we always have to have things that power the Captain Marty vessel, okay? One of them being Juan Cheese Marina and the Landing Grill. And of course, we had Miss Brenda in here last month, and we're actually probably going to end up down there at the marina at the Landing Grill doing a couple of shows. Like we did one last year, and that was a lot of fun. We had some captains come in and hang out with us. Probably going to do some more of that same stuff maybe later on in the spring, early summer. I mean, it's just a wonderful spot, 4457 Mill Landing Road in Juan Cheese, and beautiful marina. I mean, they call it the working marina. And each one of the boats are first-class individuals, first-class boats, happy to take you offshore, inshore, whatever.
Waterman trips, dolphin watch, the whole thing, full service.
You got the Harbor Star, the dolphin boat. Yes, full service, absolutely.
Great restaurant.
100%. Definitely somewhere you want to check out the Landing Grills. And you can check them out online at wancheesemarina.com. And, of course, one of your longest time sponsors of Captain Marty programming, helping power this vessel, is the largest repower. You know what? I think we're going to talk to Shane a little bit later on in the program. I think I'm going to ask him what the repower means. Like, you know, is it, what exactly does that entail? I might ask that question, but regardless, largest repower center in all of Northeast North Carolina, that being Radcliffe Marine in Belhaven, which we were just out there, Cap.
Yeah, we were. And, you know, Justin, you always ask those deep questions. You know, I think, wasn't it last month you asked him what is an outboard motor?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes. What's a propeller?
What's a propeller?
Yeah, I didn't understand. He said prop. I'm like, were you trying to prop up on something?
Yeah.
He's like, that's short for propeller. And I'm like, well, I don't even know what that is. Does it make you move faster? Like propel? It propels you through the water? What does it do? You know, yeah, definitely those deep questions. Thanks, Cap. Thank you. Making me feel so good today. I appreciate that. But yeah, you can find them online, radcliffemarine.com, right there on the 264 bypass. going around the downtown area of Belhaven. You can, if you're going west, of course, coming in on 264, coming out of Hyde County, you'll just stay straight on the roads. Coming east, it's same thing. You'll just hit the 264 bypass, and it'll bring you right past Radcliffe Marine across the street from where's it across the
Food
street
Lion,
from?
Hardee's,
And
the number one superstar sandwich. They ought to be sponsoring us. Much as I talk about that sandwich.
Yes, they should. We might have to stop in there next time and let them know that this is what they need to do. The official sandwich of Captain Marty Programming.
Well, in all fairness, I'm not a big hamburger fast food person, but that Hardee's has really upped their game in the last couple of years.
True.
I'll just leave it at that.
That's
they
absolutely the truth.
Got a fire built under them, and their stuff is pretty darn good.
Well, speaking of the official sandwich, burger, whatever of Captain Marty, which is kind of, we're going to say the unofficial because it's not really been coined that yet. We do actually now have an official drink of Captain Marty Programming, and that is from Sport Fisher Bevco. Sport Fisher Bevco. I mean, who better to be the official drink of Captain Marty Programming than Sport Fisher Bevco?
Yeah.
All right. Again, people are wondering, well, what the heck does that even mean? Okay. So Sport Fisher Bevco, they've created an energy type drink. It's like an energy drink to some regard, but it also has like some of those vitamins and minerals,
hydrating things,
hydration, some of those different things that you would need while you're out on the water. I believe some of them have ginger. For if you're offshore, it kind of helps. Ginger's supposed to help with equilibrium. Is that correct, Captain?
I think it is. I think it does. I was just looking, reading this a little bit. It has the green tea caffeine. That's where it's going to get you amped up a little bit.
Yep.
And then it has Himalayan sea salt in it, some mixed vitamins, B3, B7, B6, B12. There's all kinds of vitamins in there.
What about B4? B4, B4 what?
No, and this one I can't pronounce. Help me with this one. L-theanine.
I don't. Cap, your guess is as
it's
good
a leaf
as mine.
of some kind.
Well, so a lot of people, these workout gurus, they'll go and they'll take their Fit Aids and their Celsius. Yeah. This is like that, but for those that like to go fishing and for those that need a little bit of extra, the hydration, a little bit of extra energy while they're out there on the water to power through the day. Because you think about it, Captain, what time did you get up in the morning to go offshore?
4 o'clock.
4 a.m. What time did you go to bed that night?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Okay, so you got about a 6-hour window to get some sleep, and the rest of it is the other 18 hours you're spent working and doing things for other people. Your day belonged to other people, and how to be more alert, how to be more efficient at your job, and how to make sure that you got through it without any bumps or bruises or, toes bitten by wahoos or anything like that, than to have maybe something like that when you were fishing. I think that would have done you some good, Cap.
Yeah. You have to be alert.
Yeah.
One of my story segments is about not getting tunnel vision. You have to be looking in about 4 different directions all day long. Big fish on the teaser, someone down in the head, seasick, captain wanting fried chicken on the bridge. You have to multitask. This will help you multitask.
Absolutely. So we've got 2 flavors here. One of them is a Scuppernong grape flavor, and the other one is called, I think it's a blood orange, and I believe there's actually a third flavor. It's going to be called cherry limeade. That has not hit shelves yet, but you can find these currently, Captain. You can find them at Wanchese Marina. You can find them at Village Hardware in Wanchese, and I believe they just got on over at Garden Deli in Manio. One of the distributors, the owner, operator, president, CEO, chairman, Clint Godwin. Are you familiar with Clint?
Yes, because I just saw on a list, he is number 2 in all of the Dare County Gym Rat Championship. Number 2, yeah, Clint.
He's number 2?
Number 2 in the gym, following, I'm not going to tell you who's number 1.
You know who number 1 is.
Yeah.
Not me.
Clint is actually runner-up right now to being the champion gym rat in all of Dare County.
Wow. See, and that's the thing. That's a testimony to his greatness.
He is, you look at him and you think,
he's in great shape.
He's just a regular guy. But then I hear the stories. He's an animal.
He is a machine in that gym. He's not anybody you want to try to keep up with because you're just not going to do it. I watch people and I'm like, don't do that. Don't even think
about it.
No.
And if you know Clint Godwin, he's my insurance guy too, and I love him to death. He's wide open all the time.
I've been on the phone with him 3 times already today, Cap. Trust me. And I love him to death. He's like a brother, and I would do anything for him. And again, this drink of his, I remember when he first started talking about it and was going to get it up off the ground. And I'll tell you, all the trips he made back and forth to the manufacturer and to get the ingredients and to get everything produced. I mean, he put a lot of time and energy into this. And to be able to call it the official drink of Captain Marty Programming is quite an honor because he's really working.
Cans. He did great on the design. I love the fish hook and the little skull on the front.
Yeah. Each one of them is going to have its own unique design, but we're in the process of getting his website up and going so he can do online orders. And once that information is ready to go, we'll definitely make sure to put it out here on Captain Marty Programming. But Cap, going to take a quick break here in just a second, but a couple things we're going to cover. We're going to call out so we can get a hold of Mr. Wayne out at A&W Sales. Okay. I do want to talk to you because now's the time of the year when a lot of people are going to start doing their bookings and getting ready for this upcoming summer to book charter. So I kind of want to go through some of that with you if you don't mind. Maybe make another phone call, see if we can get Mr. Shane on the phone from out there at Radcliffe Marine. Then wrap this thing up. I would like to, maybe run through a fishing report, see what's been catching, see what you think is going to, take place over the next month or so. And, it is that time of the year when I am constantly out on the roads, making sure that we have all the right sponsors and all the right places to keep this Captain Marty Programming going. And I would really like to give them a shout out right before we close. So, how's that? Does that all sound good to you? I basically just told you what to do, and this is your show.
Well, it is the time to book a charter. We live in the premier charter boat port on the whole East Coast of the United States, but there are some things you need to be thinking about before you book a charter. We'll talk primarily about offshore fishing, but it would apply to a lot of our midshore and inshore and backcountry fishing as well.
Okay, we'll do that in a little bit. Let's make a phone call before we do. And we'll make that phone call, and we'll be right back here with Captain Marty on the other side of fishing. Real. That's the first word that comes to mind when I think about Outland Seafood in Mans Harbor. Yeah, they're the first and last place you see coming to and leaving the Outer Banks on Highway 64 in Dare County, but they're also real when it comes to fresh local seafood. Troy Outland, real. Curtis and Josh, real. The indoor crab shedders, real. Stop by and see for yourself right next to White Shopping Center and check them out on social media. Outland Seafood in Mans Harbor, real.
At the south end of Roanoke Island, in a quiet little village, lies a marina known for having one of the finest fishing fleets on the Outer Banks. Whether it be an offshore excursion, a nearshore charter, or headboat fishing, Wanchese Marina is where to go. Wanchese Marina is a full-service marina, complete with a fueling dock, bait, tackle, ice, and the Landing Grill restaurant. All of this is just a few minutes from some of the finest fishing spots around. Book online at wanchesemarina.com. Wanchese Marina, 4457 Mill Landing Road, Wanchese.
All right, back with this edition of The Other Side of Fishing with Captain Marty. Marty, let's make a phone call to somebody we visited the other day, shall we?
Yeah, I'd love to make a phone call to somebody we visited the other day.
Care to take a guess at who we're going to call?
I bet we're going to call one of two people.
All right, let's see if you know.
And we didn't, in the green room before we went on the air here, you never told me. So I would say A&W Sales over on Seed Tick Neck Road.
Okay.
Or it's going to be Shane, the new and proud owner of Radcliffe Marine. Or both.
Both are happening, but the first one is the first one you mentioned. You're absolutely right. We're going to call Mr. Wayne over on Seed Tick Neck Road at A&W Sales in Howes Mercantile.
The road that nobody yet that we've asked knows how it got its name.
No, you're right. So let's see if we can get him on the phone. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's see if this thing will do it. Let's see. They're online at awsales.com. There we go.
Hello?
Mr. Wayne.
Hey, how's it going?
Is Justin and Marty? Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, hey Justin, hey Captain Marty.
Hey Wayne, what's happening over your neck of the over in your Seed Tick neck of the woods?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I've been cleaning up a bunch of mowers we just got in and waxing them and and just getting them ready for show.
You wax the mowers?
Yeah. We go through every mower, clean them up, wax them, make sure everything's good from the factory, which it usually is, but we just like to check ourselves too.
Okay, so here's you ready for your trivia question?
Yeah.
Okay, who is the most happiest, satisfied bad boy customer you know?
It's got to be Capt Marty.
Ding, ding, ding.
You got that right. Let me tell you, many years ago, I needed a mower. I went someplace else first, and that place
Tisk, Marty.
did not help me at all. And my neighbor had a bad boy lawnmower. My neighbor, old J.M. Meeks.
Yeah.
And he said, give these people a try. And I did. I talked to your daddy, and the next thing I know, I was going home with a lawnmower. And that thing, he told me, I asked him the other day when we met with him in the office, Justin, I said, man, I tell you, I need me a new, how much, or so I asked about the new bells and whistles on the new mowers, but the problem is my old one won't quit. It just keeps running and running.
Yeah.
Never had a problem. No rust. I know I've had it 10 years, but it's got
I was about to ask you, how old's that one?
I don't even know. I forgot. It's been a while.
I think it's close to 10.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And man, it's got, hey, Wayne, we'll get back to other business, but remember what you were telling me about the mower deck, which is where most people run into a problem. But even though I have the residential model, tell our listeners what you told me about the thickness of the mower decks on both the residential and the commercial grade bad boy mowers.
Yeah, so as you know, well, we're in the middle of nowhere over here, so we have a bunch of sandy soil. And that creates a lot of rust through on like generic mower decks and, wreaks a lot of havoc on metal in general. But our bad boy mowers on our residential line, they have a 7-gauge steel deck, even on my smallest, cheapest mower. And that is usually what other brands have on their commercial mowers. So the smaller the number, the thicker the deck is when it comes to gauge.
Okay.
So your regular residential mowers that you would pick up from a big box store, they're usually stamped and mass produced by a machine. And they usually come anywhere from 10 gauge to 14 gauge, which is why those mowers can be, sold at a lower price. And what's amazing is our mowers with a much better deck, much better lifespan on that deck are, very competitive on price, if not even lower than a lot of the other places that you can buy them from. And when you go to our commercial mowers, they have, it's roughly a 3-gauge steel deck, which is twice as thick as the big brands, commercial mowers. So, that's that's the part of the mower that gets a lot of wear and tear, gets beat up a lot. Everybody's running over pine cones, sticks, who knows? So that's really the life of your mower, because once that's gone, everything's kind of gone.
Yeah. And replacing it is a big cost, a big cost. I know that.
It's a big cost.
The mower deck's really, really important. My machine. Now I'm going to tell you, I have never waxed my lawnmower, and I barely have ever washed it. But that mower deck is still in real good shape, and I'm really happy with it. I got mower blades. So that was the other thing I like. I got an oil filter, special Kawasaki oil for my mower, and the blades when we were over there visiting the other day, because you guys are truly full service. Yeah,
we're truly full service. We have a very large parts inventory in stock because we got a lot of guys running these commercially, and even our residential guys. They've got small yards, big yards. The last thing we want to do is during the summer get behind 2 weeks. So we do a really good job of preseason ordering. We got data to know what our guys use, what they need, what we need to have in stock. And we're always getting better at that. Our main goal is to keep our guys running, because that's how they make money. And during the summertime, that's when they make the money. So we want to keep them moving.
Oh, yeah. And, just a zero-turn mower in general, I have 27 fruit trees. And if you do have a need to run around the base of 27 fruit trees, not to mention everything else, you can't go wrong with the zero-turn. They're actually really fun to operate. I love mowing. Yeah. I enjoy getting out there and mowing.
They're a little bit intimidating at first for someone who's never driven one. But, I always tell people go out in the yard, and in about 10 minutes, you're going to have that thing dialed in. Mm-hmm. And statistically, it's going to cut your mowing time down by at least half. So you're going to get a lot of your Saturdays and weekends back to be able to sit down and chill out.
That's what you need, Justin. We were just talking about getting more time.
Yes.
You need a bad boy mower.
I need a bad boy mower in order to get that time.
I got you. Let's free up your weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, speaking of freeing up a weekend and speaking of something that's coming up in the near future, I was reading something when I was in your store just the other day. Bad Boy Mower Day on March 7th. What? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so everybody wants a good deal, and Bad Boy mowers by themselves are the best bang for your buck. I know I'm biased. I'm a Bad Boy salesman. We've been selling them for over 12 years now. But if you just go compare everything online, you can see for yourself. And a lot of other mower brands are good too, so I want to start there. But Bad Boy Mower Day is our lowest pricing of the year. So instead of doing it at the end of the season, we do it at the beginning of the season. That's when a lot of people are looking to upgrade or make a change. So on March 7th, this is our 8th Bad Boy Mower Day. On March 7th from 9 to 2, we are taking $400 off any of our commercial mowers, and we are taking $250 off any of our residential mowers. We're also giving free lunch, which, we grill hot dogs out here, have a bunch of chips and drinks. But it's just a fun community event. And if somebody's looking, they're tired of dealing with their beat-up mower or not starting when they go out there, this is the best time to buy a Bad Boy mower from A&W Sales. And this event is exclusive to us. This isn't a Bad Boy event. This is just an A&W Sales event that we run every year, and it's grown every single year that we've done it. And it's our way of kicking off the year good and getting everybody a good deal.
Excellent. I mean, you're coming into spring. You're a few weeks shy of spring. So, and everybody's looking to do some upgrades, be able to do some different things around their yards and everything like that. And this is a great way for people to come in and do some shopping, maybe do their upgrading to their Bad Boy mowers or get a new one or whatever the case may be, and go on and get their spring started off just right. I mean, it sounds like a good.
I still want to be the first person to ever ride a Bad Boy mower from A&W Sales to Manio. With some flags on it. We got to work on that.
We're gonna have to get you some escorts.
Yeah, please escort.
Get you cover on the front and rear and get you over there.
Yeah,
that'd be cool though.
I would do it. I'd do it now. I'll do it for free. Sign me up if y'all want to do a promotion. I'll ride that mower the whole way.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, dude.
It'd be good until you got
another good thing about any mower that's purchased from us is your first engine oil change is free.
Yep.
You can do it yourself. We'll give you everything you need to do it, or you can bring it back to us and we'll do it for you. It's just our way of making sure these mowers are a good value, but they are, it is an investment. And that's why I'm out there waxing them and cleaning them. They'll probably never be this clean again. But when you're spending money with us, you're getting into the A&W family, and I want you to feel like you just bought the coolest thing you've ever seen. And I want it, when you take it and use it, I want it to be the best investment or one of the best investments you've ever made.
And, speaking of the family aspect that y'all have there, it's definitely a good family feeling when you walk into House Mercantile and having never been there before and walking in there for the first time. Marty and I, the first thing we look at
is the Bible.
As soon as it is right there. And we
turned the page. We turned it to first chapter of James.
Lord,
my favorite verses of the whole Bible. So.
You see what he did there, Mr. Wayne? He went to James. He wanted somebody needed to see the book of James that day. And I'm telling you, that's a gut punch.
Yeah.
James don't play.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we're human. We're not perfect. We're not the smartest people in the world, but we want to make sure that everybody that walks through this door is treated like we would want to be treated when we go somewhere, because we're consumers too. We go to places and shop, and we want this to be, we want it to be genuine as well. We want it to be a genuine connection. There's no put on here. Because we truly appreciate everybody that supports our family and the other 50 employees that we've grown to have here in this small area. So every customer is a blessing, and we try to bless them in any way that we can.
And tell you what, those gals out front, they're good salespeople too. I always go in there and say, I need something for my granddaughters.
I trained them, Marty.
They can sell now. They always take me right to what I need for a 7-year-old and a 13-year-old granddaughter. and I'm out the door. Justin's, we were loaded up with chocolate peanuts, double dipped.
Double dip.
Double dip.
What'd you say,
Double
Marty?
dip.
Marty, so his sugar was acting up, so he had to eat a couple of them when we got in the truck. He said, these might have actually been single dipped. I'm maybe double dipped. But no, he was. They were
good.
And I've got mine. Mine are sitting right over there, Cap. Mine right there on my fridge.
Well, my can is empty already. So.
Well,
that's another thing that's a part of us is we have the outdoor supply with the big Tex trailers, the bad boy mowers, our golf carts. But in store, we have a huge selection of gifts that has actually House Mercantile, our gift store, same place, same building. It's just celebrated their 10th birthday. And we actually just shipped to our last state to complete all 50 states in the U.S. So we've covered the map so far, and it's a unique experience in our gift store as well. The ladies try really hard and do a really great job.
And they have ice cream. Really good.
So, and we have ice cream.
Yeah.
Hand-dipped ice cream.
Hand-dipped.
And another thing I would like, and veterans and active duty military get free ice cream at our store every day, any day. So that's something that's just, it's a very insignificant way to pay back something that was so brave and we're so thankful for, but it's a small way of us saying thank you. And we enjoy talking to those folks as well when they come in and hang out with us for a while.
Yeah, one last thing. I bought a machete there last time I was there. Justin, that thing is so sharp when you stand in front of a tree, the tree just gives up. The limbs just fall off of it.
Those true knives that we have are really good, man.
They are.
After you've been bringing in a lot of product, you start to see things that are duds, and you try to get them as quickly as possible. And knives is a market that's super saturated, and everybody's making one. But these true knives, I have had so many people come back and tell me how amazing they are, like our fist fillet knives, or just regular pocket knives, or machetes. I don't know. It's cool. I like those.
Well, Mr. Wayne, let me ask you this. We've talked all about the bad boy mowers. We've talked about House Mercantile. We've talked about Bad Boy Day. We've talked about the knives. We've talked about the ice cream. I'm sure a lot of people would like to get a good visual. Now, where can they find you online?
Oh, that's a great question. So, of course, we have our Facebook. So what's a little bit interesting is everything's kind of split in half. We have the A&W sales and we have House Mercantile. So our House Mercantile is going to be our gift store. It has its own website, housemercantile.com. We ship. We have all of our products on there. You can go view that. And you can check it out on Facebook and Instagram at House Mercantile. And then A&W sales, we're usually under the tag AW Sales NC, like North Carolina. So awsalesnc.com is where you can see all of our mower inventory, trailer inventory, things like that. And then, of course, Facebook and Instagram and even TikTok, AW Sales NC.
Oh, no, they're doing the TikTok. You hear that?
Oh, man. And House.
Yeah, dude. I'm going to have to get, Captain Marty's going to have to get out here and hit a dance for us.
House Mercantile. House is HOWELLS, correct? House.
Yes,
HOWELLS. Okay. House Mercantile. Wow. Okay, Wayne. Well, next time you're in Mania, you got to come by the office and we got to visit a little bit.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I want to go eat somewhere.
We'll feed you. Don't you worry about that. You show up, we'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, we got you covered.
Look, all I do is work and eat. Okay.
Okay, me too.
Good at both those things.
I think that's all of us right now. So, all right, hey, Mr. Wayne,
thank you so much. I appreciate both of you.
Absolutely, thank you, and you have a great weekend. We'll talk again real soon.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye. Man, what a fun guy.
Nice people.
Awesome folks out there. Kind, friendly.
And if you're kind of wondering, it's on if you know where Bellhaven is, it's 3-4 miles on the other side of Bellhaven on Seed Tickneck Road.
It's not far. I mean,
way before you get to Washington. So it's over on that stretch of.
I mean, it's really not that people are like, oh, it's on the other side of Bellhaven. Well, yeah, but it's like you said, Cap Marty, 2 or 3 miles on the other side of Bellhaven on Seed Tickneck Road.
Right.
It's not that far. It's like, I don't even really know how to give a good description of distance for people to really fathom it. But
some of the nicest people you ever meet.
Absolutely. A quick break. When we come back, more with the Captain.
When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks.
Are you ready for a fishing thrill like no other?
Oh, there he is! There he is! Oh, got him up!
As seen on WikiTune Outer Banks, the Carolina Girl, captained by majestic Jesse Anderson, is a custom, luxurious 53-foot Jarrett Bay built boat running out of Hatteras Harbor Marina. Let Jesse and her crew give you a fishing experience of a lifetime. To book a trip, go online to CarolinaGirlSportFishing.com. Carolina Girl Sport Fishing, your offshore adventure awaits.
All right, back with the other side of fishing and Capt and Marty. I'll tell you, Cap, it's always fun when we get to make these phone calls and we get to talk to people like Mr. Wayne, like over at A&W Sales and House Mercantile. I mean, what a great family, as we mentioned a little bit ago, but it's always fun to make these phone calls.
It is. And, you know, I love sharing our loyal sponsors, and some of them have been with us a long time, with our listeners, because we make connections. And next thing you know, one of them is driving around in a bad boy mower or needing a new Honda outboard. And we make connections.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Cap, let's shift gears real quick. Before we make our
we will, and we'll talk about making connections. That's what we're going to lead into right now.
Yes. So we before we make our next phone call, we're talking about booking.
Yes.
Talking about, I mean, this is the time of the year when a lot of people are looking at, well, okay, we got our vacation planned. What day are we going to go fishing?
Right.
So talk to me about how this process works, you know, whether it be inshore, offshore, whatever. Talk to me about this.
Well, we'll focus primarily on offshore today, but because that's what will come first. But we can also touch on some of the inshore and backcountry fishing. And one of the things to know is that we live in a mecca, a fishing mecca. The charter boat business is stronger here than it is anywhere in the world. Now, there are other places you may have a bigger fleet, but you don't have the four things that we have here, which is the nicest fleet of boats, most of them built locally and very uniform. I mean, you don't really roll in here with some fiberglass factory boat.
Right.
They're all custom built, beautiful sport fishing boats.
Right.
Number two, we have the best group of captains. And the reason we have the best group of captains is because if you're going to make a living, if you want to make a living, this is the place to do it. The business is the strongest. And the number three reason the business is the strongest is because you have the best fishing. I mean, think about it. Last year, as you and me sit down there on the docks, Pirates Cove, and watched two 800-pounders and a 600-pounder brought in.
That was insane.
Days of 20 billfish, sailfish, or white marlin on one boat in one day. We had yellowfin tuna, 600-700 pounds, not uncommon at all for a catch of tunas. I mean, that is reason number three. And reason number four is because we draw from a great piece of the clientele pie, meaning New Jersey, Virginia, New Jersey, New York, Maryland, all up in
Mid-Atlantic region, I guess.
Well,
is that what you call it? No?
We draw from the northern region
Okay.
more. Now, the folks over in Raleigh and stuff, they mostly go down most of them go down out of Morehead City.
Okay.
But we draw from a very established, well-to-do clientele, which would be Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., New York City, all of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio. We talk about that all the time. So it's a strong business. And if you're going to book to go do some of this offshore fishing, now is the time to be thinking about it. And Justin, there's always just a few things you can do to help your cause. So number one is you want to know who you're booking, because be careful, do your due diligence. Make sure you go through a major marina would be my first recommendation.
Okay.
These major marinas don't take just anybody as a charter boat. Like at Oregon Inlet Fishing Center, for instance, they have to be approved by the National Park Service. Pirates Cove, very high caliber class of boats. And so you want to make sure you're dealing in Hatteras, Teach's Lair, Hatteras Harbor, Odin's Dock. major marinas, you have to be careful because in the days of social media, everybody can advertise a charter. I see it all the time.
Right.
So that's number one. So word of mouth is really a helpful way to find a boat, especially if you talk to someone that's been on another boat and really liked it. Number two is don't assume when you go online to book a boat, if you go online, because I prefer that you deal with a booking service at the major marinas. But when you go online, just because a boat says it's the biggest, just because a boat says it's the fastest, does not make it the best boat for you to go charter. The word of mouth, the reputation of the captain and mate is way more important than if a boat is a little bit faster than another boat.
What if you're able to get a great boat or a fast boat and a great captain? Is that a possibility of a combination?
Oh, sure, you can.
I think about Bolts Holson.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty fast boat.
But what you got to remember is in this fleet, we have a wide variety of very similar boats that are great captains and fast. And as long as you stick with the major marinas, chances are pretty good that you're going to end up with a good boat. But what's really important is if you're down, like let's just say you're down this summer, you look at what you're seeing and you think, this is great. I want to book a boat. Go behind the boats on the dock and talk to the mate. The captain, it's good to talk to the captain too. The captain, when you actually go on your fishing day, is up on the flying bridge by himself. You won't have a lot of interaction with the captain, but the mate you'll be with all day long. And if you go down and talk to a mate, he's friendly and personable. The mate can make or break your day, especially if fishing slow.
Right.
And also, especially if you have kids on the boat. So meet the mate if you can, get your personal recommendation, and then choose the boat that you want to choose. And don't, another thing, a common mistake people make, our fleet is made up equally, half and half of second, third generation historical fishing families like you came from.
Right.
And the other half is we've always been a melting pot. I came from Florida, and people come from all over to take part in this mecca that I've been talking about. So you have some really, really good captains that aren't from the area at all, but still have had to qualify for the position in the boats that they're running. And then, so you choose a boat, you choose a marina, then you need to know about your fishing seasons. And they differ a little between Hatteras and Oregon Inlet. Mm-hmm. Hatteras is going to have an earlier spring fishery. Oregon Inlet is more of a late spring, midsummer, into the early fall. And then, so you need to know where you're going and what's biting in particular season. Hatteras will start out with a blue marlin bite, a lot of blackfin tuna, some king mackerel, and then Oregon Inlet will start out with some yellowfin tuna, and eventually both areas, one on the south side of Cape Hatteras, one on the north side, the mahi will start to bite, and then the billfish activity. So if you're booking a boat, you need to know what you want to fish for. Justin, if you were going tomorrow, would you be wanting to go for meat or billfish? You personally?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, just say you're
okay.
Hypothetically speaking. I know what you're going to say.
Well, I personally would probably want to go for the meat.
Okay.
My wife would be wanting to go for the billfish.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be okay with either one. Mm-hmm. I mean, ultimately, if she was going with me, we're going to do what she wants to do, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, to get in a mess of dolphin or mahi for those that think we're talking about flipper, to get in a mess of dolphin or a thing of yellowfins would be excellent.
Because you like to stand out in the backyard, throw it on the grill.
Me too.
Yeah. And most people would say, I want some fish to eat. But some people, it's their bucket list life's dream to catch a billfish. So if you really want to catch a billfish, you need to be here in August or September. That's when the best of the billfish is for Oregon Inlet, a little bit earlier down in Hatteras. If you really want a box full of tunas, spring or fall is the time to do that.
Okay.
But what's most important is that you talk to your captain and let them know what your wishes are. This is why it's good to book by calling the captain directly at home. It's all the same price for however you book, but start building a rapport with the captain before you actually get to the boat. And then say, look, we really like to eat some eating fish. And what I used to get a lot was people call and say, well, we'd like to catch, if we fill the box full of tunas, which could be 600 pounds, then we'd like to go marlin fishing. Well, that's kind of a tall order. So you just need to let them know what you favor. Like because the captain's going to probably go for what's biting the best.
Right.
But if he knows you're more interested in meat or more interested in billfish, he'll factor that in when he comes out the inlet in the morning and decides which way he's going to go. That could factor in.
Yeah, I mean, and your bait selection changed slightly.
It can change a whole lot. Yeah, it can. So, and then there are specialists. There are some people like Captain Arch Racher on the Pelican. If you book Arch in August, chances are he'll tell you when you call, look, I really like marlin fishing as a captain. And we try to get all of our bill fishing parties coming this time of year. And if you said, well, all I want is meat, he'd steer you to a really good boat like Billy Maxwell that loves to meat fish. Mm-hmm. And that's really, really important when you're setting this trip up. So then you do that, and then you're ready to go. You book a boat. What's the next thing that happens? You have to have a deposit, okay? Now, what do you think I'm going to advise you about that?
When it comes to a deposit?
Mm-hmm. You're going with 5 of your friends, and you're going fishing. See, most of the boats are 6-passenger boat.
Okay, 6-passenger
What do you
boat.
need to know about the deposit?
If it goes towards the charter.
Well, it does, but what you need to know, when you're the guy that made the call, when you're the guy that did the homework, and you're the guy that set the charter up, every charter has a head guy that makes the booking. All right? You need to get some of that deposit from everybody in the charter.
Yeah. I mean,
well, you'd be surprised. They'll say, oh, don't worry, I'll get the deposit. And then the other 4 people back out. You'd be surprised how many people their mother dies the day before the charter.
Wow.
Or they find all these reasons to back out. Then you're left holding the bag for a sizable deposit.
Yeah, okay.
So, number one, get everybody in on the deposit of the boat, and that way you'll be sure that everybody shows up on the morning of the fishing trip.
Well, even if they don't, you still got the money and you're ready to go.
You just go with less people.
Yeah. More for you.
So, and these charters are in the ballpark for the standard, just for the charter is $3,000. So keep that in mind. All right. And then a couple more things on the financial end of things. Let them know that if you do go meat fishing and you do fill the fish box up with fish, and it can happen, that's 600 pounds of fish.
Ooh.
Well, I think fish cleaning is about 50 cents a pound on the hoof. 600 pounds, so your fish cleaning bill alone is $300.
Oh.
That's something else you want to get everybody in on. And you want to make sure that they know about it up front. There's one last item, financially speaking. What do you think it is that you need to know about as you're dealing with the rest of the people in your charter?
Tip.
That's right. The gratuity. The gratuity can be substantial. In fact, I remember back in the day when I was a mate, if we got a $100 tip, we would run up and down the dock yelling and hollering and doing backflips,
Yeah.
But with everything else, inflation has run everything up. But the gratuity usually averages between 15 and 20%. And, that's a little chunk of change on a $3,000 trip. So those are the 3 financial things that you need to talk over with everybody. Then you make your reservation. The final thing I would say is that you need to try to leave an alternative day to go fishing if you can.
Okay.
So if you book your boat, I recommend trying to avoid weekends if you can. But if you book your boat on a Tuesday, leave either Wednesday or Thursday open on your travel plans. So let's just say you're coming from Pennsylvania. You're booked on Tuesday, you're going to fish, and let's just say in this case, maybe you're going to go home on Wednesday. You're going to drive home. But leave your schedule open enough where if you got blown out, and it happens, if you got blown out on that Tuesday trip, you might have to change your travel plans back home or drive at night, but you could at least fall back to the next day. You might have to get a different boat, or if you're here for a week, like most people are, and you're doing that Tuesday charter, leave Thursday or Friday open in case you have to reschedule, because that disappoints a lot of people. That time when you come down and you go to all that trouble and then you don't get to go fishing at all. So it's much better to fall back to a better day than to push too hard to go on a really rough day as well.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this question real quick then. Okay. So let's say book, it's a Tuesday, weather's kind of nasty. And I'm like, no, I want to go. And the captain unties, we get going down the canal, we get out. into the water. We're in the sound for a little bit, and it's just like, oh no, this is a horrible idea. I think we should turn around and go back. Would they still be willing to use my lay day for another trip? Like, would I still be able to go? Or
That's
what?
a really good question. So they would, but if you leave the dock, it's going to cost you. And that depends on how you leave the dock. So in other words, if you got out 2 or 3 miles and it looked really bad and you thought, let's go back, maybe we'll try it in 2 more days. So what happened? Here's what happens on a borderline day. First of all, no captain is going to build a successful return clientele business if you take them out and make them miserable. But you got to keep in mind the captain, the mate, and the boat can take a lot more than the average charter from Ohio can take.
Right.
So when they get down in and there are some captains that are saltier, fish rougher weather, but any captain that's reputable takes this into consideration. So on a day when it's borderline, maybe we go, maybe we don't. You always should. They'll sit down with the charter and say, look, it's going to be rough. Some boats are going to maybe try it today because everybody's having the same conversation up and down the dock. But it's going to be rough. And, if you guys want to reschedule, we haven't untied the boat. We have no expenses at that point. We can reschedule for another day, whether it's tomorrow or next month or next season. But if you say, if we do go and you'll get charged and say, we were on a destroyer in the Navy for 20 years. And if they push you and don't listen to the advice you try to give them, when you untie the boat under those circumstances, when you tried to say, look, let's reschedule, and they say, we're tough, and you say, well, you're not as tough as me and my mate are, so let's go. The old famous saying, get your ice means for the mate, go over there, get your ice for the fish box because we're going. Once you untie that boat, it's full price. If you go 3 miles out in the ocean, and one time we had that, the very thing happen, and it's all my podcast story, one of my stories from this, but we left the dock, we got out, and these people said we were on the destroyer for 20 years, and Captain Evan Westcott said, all right, come on, we'll go. And we crossed the bar, and it was breaking sea all the way across the bar. Now, no captain's going to endanger you, but they put all their past blue ribbons that they were drinking at 6 o'clock in the morning. They set them down when we crossed the bar. The time we got 3 or 4, I didn't even get out the baits. I climbed up on the bridge. I said, well, we'll never make it. We got 3 or 4 miles offshore, and that boat was leaping and jumping. And they get what you call the praying position, where they get down on their knees in the cockpit and they're hanging onto the cleat. Yeah. And the captain and me were like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Then there's blast off. That's when they start throwing. And then there's like, Captain, can we go back? And the captain would say, see, I tried to tell you, this ain't no destroyer. Right. In a case like that, you tried to warn them. So that costs your full price. Well, most of the time, it's a joint discussion with your client.
Well, that's awesome. Good, some good advice when it comes to doing all the booking and everything like that, from the financial aspect to, making sure that you heed the warnings of the captain to just all the different pieces of it when it comes to booking a charter. I mean, now's the time, like we said. Yeah.
And we're talking mostly offshore because we don't have time to cover everything. But the best thing to do is if you're here this summer, walk the dock, talk to the captains, but especially talk to the mates. Then when you do look at the boats and then make your choice, but get everybody on board for the financial part of the business. Because what's happened different now, Justin? Back when you were a little boy and your daddy and I fished, it was a lot of family groups, and you almost have no family groups anymore. In other words, you don't have a dad paying the bill for everything. What you do have is a group of business people, working friends, coworkers, things like that, where splitting the cost is how it's done. So that's really something to consider.
All right. Well, that's all good information, Cap. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to make another phone call. Let's see if we can get old Shane on the phone from out there at Radcliffe Marine. So, quick break. We'll be right back with Captain Marty's Other Side of Fishing.
Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village is the closest spot on the Outer Banks to the Gulf Stream. Just inside Hatteras Inlet, Teachers Lair is fully loaded with bait, tackle, ice, snacks, and drinks for your fun-filled day out on the water. Want to get rigged up to catch the big one? Lee and the gang in the tackle shop can outfit you to catch whatever is eager to get hooked. To see the marina, the tackle shop, or to book a charter, go online to teacheslair.com. Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village. Your fishing venture awaits.
Hey y'all, Captain Marty here to tell you that when my friends are in the market for a new boat engine or repair, I send them to the best, and that's at Ratcliffe Marine in Belhaven. Ratcliffe Marine is your official Yamaha outboard dealer. Yamaha motors are designed to get you on the water fast and get you back to the dock whenever you're ready. Ratcliffe Marine is also the largest repower center in North Carolina. So when you're in the market for a new motor or need your Yamaha service, go to Ratcliffe Marine, 865 Highway 264 in Belhaven.
All right, back with the other side of fishing with Captain Marty. Marty, let's make another phone call out west somewhere we visited just recently. You got the first one correct, okay, and that was A&W Sales and Howe's Mercantile. And then you mentioned something about Radcliffe Marine. Let's see. I
did. My longest running sponsor before I ever came here to work with you in my career in radio. They were with me for many years, over 20 years all total. So, yeah, Radcliffe Marine, another visit to Belhaven, another one out there west of town. So.
That's right. And, Ricky, he's taken, he went ahead and kind of stepped out for a little bit. He's been
He's at the time in life where he's ready to slow down and go trout fishing.
Yeah, so he has handed it off to one of his employees, great guy named Shane. Let's see if we can get Shane on the phone. Let's give him a shout.
Shane is the new owner down there at Radcliffe Marine. They're going to keep the name, as far as I know, the same.
Yeah.
And, they're North Carolina's...
I don't even know why they'd change it.
Largest repowering dealer. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Hello.
Mr. Shane.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, man. We just been talking to your business neighbor down the street over there at A&W Sales, and we found out that they have free ice cream. Now, we were wondering at Radcliffe Marine, have y'all got free ice cream?
No, but now that you told me that, I might jump in the truck and head over there right quick and see if I can eat y'all's portion for you.
You can have ours, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Shane, let me just say, man, hey, it was really good to sit and have lunch with you the other day. And I know, Marty, we always enjoy going out there and hanging out. And we appreciate you taking our call today for Captain Marty's show. And we were just wondering what's been going on around Radcliffe Marine.
Well, we got a pretty day today. The weather's breaking a little bit, and the temperature's back down on us some. But hopefully, maybe I hear next week, supposed to be getting some pretty weather, and maybe people start getting boating back on their minds, so we can get ready for the spring coming up.
I saw where it's going to be bumping 70 degrees next Wednesday. So,
really?
Yeah, that'll get some of those guys out there fishing again, And,
that'll get the floodgates open there. They'll be coming out everywhere.
They will be. And, it was really great to see Ricky Radcliffe, the namesake of the business, at lunch the other day, too. And I don't know a harder working, more dedicated speckled trout fisherman than your mentor, Ricky Radcliffe. Do you go with him, Shane? Do you get to go?
Yeah, that is true there. They, he definitely targets them a lot now. I guess since, the sales happened, he's really, really turned on to them. But I guess with the season closure now, it's kind of, it's going to slow that down for a little while. This is the first time in 8 years that I've been to a boat ramp, a public boat ramp in Belhaven, and it be empty during the week. Seemed like since COVID, man, people work from home and all the boat ramps have been packed. But man, this is the first couple of weeks is really unusual. It's almost like a ghost town, at the boat ramps right now.
Yeah, but it has. How about the ice on the water? Is that finally all melted off for the most part? I'm sure it has. But.
Finally, there's a few places, not on the river, but on the road, where the sun don't really get on it, until late evenings, and there's a little bit of ice. But as far as the waters, the river, it finally broke. I'd say this week, so. I don't really think a lot of people's even had the opportunity to really get out and do any, sightseeing or exploring or even checking on the fish just because the ice has, been so thick.
So they'll be getting out. And like when we were talking the other day, you were talking about the commercial guys, especially the crabbers and the gill netters. we'll all be getting ready. There's the closed season for crab pots, and that's the time when a lot of them get their work done. But the proof is in the pudding. When the commercial guys, the guys that make a living, prefer to come to Radcliffe Marine, that's a good sign. So you do a lot of business with commercial and recreational customers, correct?
Yes, sir. I mean, it's probably not an even split just because, commercial industry is, not what it was at one time. But, yeah, I mean, what draws them to us is, of course, we got good service, good knowledge, good mechanics, and we know that, they're working and they got to go right now. So most of the time we put them top priority and we drop what we're doing. And, a lot of times they pull up and we get right on them. And, we try to turn them around as quick as we can just because we know that, they got to go. So that's kind of what we're known for. And of course, like you say, this time of year, the people are kind of getting ahead of the game and getting their stuff serviced. And if they won't do any upgrades or whatever, that's kind of what the crabbers are doing. Cause I mean, here in another couple of weeks, month or so, they'll be, ready to sit back.
So tell our listeners that may be new and not real familiar with you, what it is, your product lines on outboard motors and other things that you sell at Radcliffe Marine.
So, of course, we have full service, sales and service, outboard engines. We don't sell any boats. Of course, currently we just strictly do outboards and outboard repower. We sell, Yamaha's been our longest running dealership. And, of course, we got Suzuki and Honda also. Honda's our big, commercial manufacturer just because, of the service that we offer for the Hondas and their reliability. And, of course, we sell, anything from trolling motors to GPSs to the new, live scope, live view, forward-facing sonar that people, are getting into now. We do just about, whatever we can't do, we can help you find the right avenue to get it done.
So I meant to ask you the other day, and if you had any kind of outboard that needed a repair or a tune-up, can y'all do that as well?
Well, we've tried to started cutting loose like the two-stroke outboards, just because the availability of parts are hard to do. And of course, like Mercury, we used to sell them years past, but we kind of cut them loose to just having too much kind of going on. So we try to stick to kind of what we sell. But I mean, if somebody, is in need of our help or needs some service on something, we can try our best to, to work them in and get them back going.
Good deal.
Right on, Shane. That's all some good information that you got right there in regards to, just the way things are starting to kind of wake up and people are going to be wanting to show up with their boats and everything like that with their motors and trying to get some service and work done. Help me understand something a little bit, and maybe not necessarily me, but as for our listeners as well. We tout when we talk about you and everything and Radcliffe Marine, the largest repower center. Okay, what does it mean to repower a motor? What exactly does that entail?
I don't really know the true definition, but I mean, in our industry, I mean, the repower means that you're taking off an existing engine, off a boat and repowering it with a new motor, So essentially the power that powers the boat, of course, would be the outboard. You're just kind of repowering it, and that's just something that I guess kind of they've always called it, is just repower and I think the property that we have, of course, if people know where we're at, it's not very big, so it's not like we can have 8 or 10 lines of boats. So that's kind of why we kind of stick to the repower, just because, it don't take up a lot of physical real estate. And, we got these people that can't afford, $80,000 or $100,000 boat that can spend 20 or so, depending on what motor and have basically a brand new boat. Because, I mean, a boat's only as good as the power or the motor that's on it.
And outboard motors blow my mind. I was talking to Ray Pugh today at the gym, and he was telling me about some of these outboard motors have more cylinders and horsepower than anything I ever have run in my life. So it's very fascinating.
Okay, there's another question I got.
Yeah.
There's another one. So, Capt, Marty, and I, when we were there the other day, we walked in and we were looking at these 25 horse Yamahas. And Marty, he made a bid. He said we did a little Price is Right thing with you. You remember?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And we kind of threw out there what we thought each one of those motors were going to be. And you were like, no, you're way overbid. I think Marty said 7,500.
7,800.
7,800. I said 8,500.
On a 25 Yamaha.
On a 25 Yamaha. And I can't remember. You said it was, and I don't quote me on this price, anyone, but I want you to say you said it was somewhere between like 4,000 and 5,000, or was it more than that? I can't remember right now.
Right. Yeah, about 4,500.
Yeah, 4,500.
For for an average 25 horse, portable tiller handle motor or whatnot. They're all right in the same range.
Yeah.
But now let me ask you this. Is there like a rule of thumb to kind of go by so you can get if you were walking in and you were like, I really want to get a 125 Honda. I'm just picking a brand. Okay. Is there like a way to kind of think about how much, like a rule of thumb for how much they cost? Like, is it like $1,000 per horsepower, or like how does that work?
Well, I mean, a good rule of thumb until you get into like what Capt is talking about with these bigger, V8s and things, they've got a little bit, more different price scale just because of their, all the electronics and all they got on. But on the average, remote controlled handle, just on an average 20-foot boat, you can figure, $1,000 every 10 horsepower or so you can figure. So 150 will run you, around 15,000, 220,000, 250, 25, kind of, in
okay.
that aspect. Now, when you get back to the portable motors, it gets a little bit different. Like we talked about with the 25, it's not quite as low as that. But yeah, that's kind of a good rule of thumb.
Okay, that's what I was trying to kind of figure out was just, if people were looking at trying to do some upgrades or whatnot, or they were looking at they just bought a brand new boat, now they need a brand new engine, and they want to come to you just to kind of give themselves like a little bit of a ballpark to go by. Of course, there's different bells and whistles for each one of them that I'm sure you would probably be like, well, this is why this is this cost, and this is why that's that cost, but it kind of gives them a ballpark idea of what they could be walking into. So that's kind of what I was trying to get,
that's exactly right.
And that's kind of where I was going with all of that, because, you're going to have some new tax seasons right now. I mean, people are getting their tax refunds, and I don't know how much mine's going to be, but I don't know if it'll be enough to buy a new boat and a new motor to go with it, but you never know what some people are getting. So, somebody.
Yeah, and this time of the year, is a good time because it's kind of what they call the boat show season, where a lot of manufacturers are pushing a lot of rebates and low percentage, sometimes 0% financing and all kinds of different incentives and extended warranties and all. So yeah, right now is definitely a good time from now till, the end of March. With all this, like you say, tax money running around and all, I mean, this would be a good time for somebody to kind of plan ahead.
Well, there you go. You're definitely, yeah. I mean, that's the way the thought. That's perfect. But now let me ask you this. People want to find you. How can they find you? Where can they find you? If they want to find Shane specifically, how can they do that as well?
So, of course, at the shop there, we're Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, so you'll find me there anytime. We got a pretty good website that we, showcase a lot of our, not really what we got in stock, but what we offer, on our website. We also got a Facebook that, of course, don't really get the attention it deserves, but we also got a Facebook, and then, of course, our, phone number is probably the most prized possession I got there. So that's kind of the best way to reach us is probably by phone or walk through the door.
They're in Belhaven, right across from the Hardee's and the #1 Superstar hamburger.
Yes.
Right down the street from Fisher's Restaurant.
Yep.
Right there, if you're familiar with the Food Lion in Belhaven, they're right across the street.
Is that Business 264? Is that the correct term? Help me out here.
Yep. What we call the 264 bypass. What it does, it bypasses, the downtown, 2-lane or the small,
right.
downtown streets, and kind of bypass you heading, east on 264 towards, Hyde County. So we're easy to find. I mean, even if you're coming from the west, just stay on 264 into Belhaven, or even if you're coming from the east, can follow 264 right on through Hyde County, right into Belhaven, and like I said, we're right on the main drag. Can't be missed.
Can't be missed. Give me that phone number one more time, Shane.
252-943-3923.
3923. All right, Shane. Hey, we're going to let you get back to it. We appreciate you giving us a couple minutes today, and we'll be in touch because I know Capt Marty and I were talking about coming back out there in the near future and doing another show, so we'll be in touch.
Well, I tell y'all what, y'all boys have your phone on you here in about another hour. I'll let you know how good that vanilla ice cream was.
All right, we'll definitely make sure to pick up. We appreciate you, Shane.
Yep.
All right,
talk to you later.
All right, bye.
See ya. Bye. All right. Radcliffe Marine in Belhaven, Shane Grigspor. Fantastic guy. I mean, I feel like Ricky, you know, if he to pass the baton, or I don't know what the right term is here right now, pass the propeller. Pass the prop.
Yeah.
He passed it to a upstanding first-class gentleman with Shane. I've been knowing Shane for about 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And stand-up, great guy. And I'm very happy for him. And I know that Ricky's been very proud of him. So good stuff there.
First-class people over that part of the world, and nothing like a little road trip.
Oh, no.
You know, I can remember when I was a charter boat captain, man, we get a blow day, and that's the first thing we did is go west.
Go west, young man.
Get out in the country, the wide open spaces, and great area over Belhaven Way.
Well, that's what the song said, Cap. They said, "Go west, young man, haven't you been told? Belhaven's full of women, whiskey, and gold."
Oh.
I don't know about that, but women, whiskey, and I don't know if they got any of those three. Anyway, I'm not going to dig myself a hole. We'll be
but you're doing a good job.
I know. We'll be right back with more from the captain.
Hi, I'm LB Daniels, and when you want great local seafood, you go to Fresh Catch Seafood in Wanchese. How do I know it's great? My daddy is one of the fishermen that brings it to the docks. At Fresh Catch Seafood, you will get local seafood right from their fish house. They are a family-owned business that knows the name of every fisherman that comes to their docks. Visit their social media pages to see the latest catches. My daddy would love to put his tuna on your dinner plate, so get it now from Fresh Catch Seafood in Wanchese.
Hey y'all, Captain Marty here. And when I was looking for a top quality mower, I went to the best. And the best is A&W Sales in Pinetown. Now at A&W Sales, they carry top quality brands like the Bad Boy zero-turn mowers, of which I own one now for 15 years. American-made, heavy-duty machines built to handle anything from backyard touch-ups to commercial jobs. They've proudly sold and serviced Bad Boy mowers for over 15 years. How about if you're in need of a trailer? A&W Sales carries the full line of Big Tex trailers, the best-selling trailer brand in the entire nation. Visit them in-store or online at awsalesnc.com, where tough equipment meets trusted service.
All right, back with the other side of fishing and Captain Marty. Cap, we're going to wrap this thing up. Before we get into some of your closing thoughts, though, I do have to mention a couple of things. One, Captain Marty hotline, man, it is wide open, ready for anybody that wants to give us a call with any questions that they have for you, any sort of comments they would like to make, any suggestions for things they want to hear us talk about with the Captain Marty Show. That phone number, 252-216-2797, 252-216-2797. Of course, I will post that in the description of this edition of The Other Side of Fish, and so people can have it right there and they can just make the phone call. And of course, now what's going to happen is it's going to go to a voice recording. I was going to say, you've reached the Captain Marty hotline, you know, blah, blah, leave us a message, that sort of thing. So what we end up doing is we'll play your message back if you want us to. If you don't want us to, just say, hey, don't play this back, but I have this question for the captain. And we will answer your question or discuss whatever it is you would like for us to in the next edition of The Other Side of Fishing. So
yeah, we're welcome. We're open to suggestions, things you'd like to hear us talk about.
Well, I mean, you know, what if somebody's like, Marty, you have a really sexy voice. Tell me about your hunting land. How would you answer a question?
Well, it depends on how old she is and if she's married or not.
Okay, that's definitely a couple factors.
Because I am single, by the way.
Single?
And what do you call that, full disclosure?
Yes.
Yeah. And if you're female, single, and have some hunting land, just send a picture of the hunting land.
There you go. Now, you can't text it. You can't text that number, but you can call that number, and then we can figure it out from there. But yeah, 252-216-2797.
How do we go down that rabbit hole?
I don't know. I was just trying to think of a good question that somebody can call and ask the captain.
Yeah.
And also, I want to mention, I mentioned at the beginning of the program that, it's Captain Marty season for me is what I call it. And I'm running the roads to ensure that we've got great sponsors for Captain Marty programming. I want to go ahead and shout out to some of them. I want to start, honestly, Marty, I want to start with my very first signee of 2026, and that was Teach's Lair Marina. I just go down to Aaron. I was like, Aaron, he's like, is it Captain Marty time? I said, yep. He's like, where? Give me the paper.
Yeah.
And I mean, as simple as that. Writes me a check for it all right there.
Great people. The midgets have always been really good. I have some really good stories about Stocky Midget and Darlington going to the races together. And they're just, I rolled into Hatteras in 1975. I left my home in Daytona Beach, Florida, and drove all night long. The night I graduated from high school, and drove to be part of that family. And the midgets were one of the first people I met.
Well, there's some fantastic folks. I love Aaron Midget. that whole crowd out at TJ.
Everybody in Hatteras is just lovely people.
Absolutely. Also, so somebody that actually upped their sponsorship level this year was ELSOBX. Electrical and lighting solutions you can count on. Huge fans of Captain Marty. They're right here in Manteo, and they love being a part of Captain Marty programming. So, for any of your electrical needs and things of that nature, lighting, outdoor switches, all this stuff, anything you need, they can help you out at ELSOBX. Also want to shout out to Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance, your diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. My buddy Ryan Walker over there loves him some Captain Marty, and he was like, man, is it Captain Marty time? I said, yep. He's like, kind of like Aaron Midget. Give me the paper. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
we're glad to have them too.
Of course, Red Drum Tackle, they jump back on. Wanchi's Marina's back. Radcliffe Marine. And Frisco Woods. Miss Stacy down at Frisco Woods was just excited to rejoin the Captain Marty programming this year. I remember before she actually signed last year for Captain Marty, I was talking to her about some other things, and I showed her your stuff. She goes, oh, no, I want Captain Marty.
Yeah.
She said, forget about the rest of this. I want Captain Marty. So we're thankful to have them back. Of course, A&W Sales. They came in a little late. They came in a little after the buzzer last year for the fishing guide, but they're in it in time this year, and they're one of your top tier sponsors when it comes to fishing for the fishing guide and everything of all their programs. So again, we talked to Mr. Wayne a little bit ago, and very thankful to have them. I do want to add, you have another one that is new this year, and that is Blackwell Boatworks. Craig Blackwell and his son, daggone it. I shouldn't even have said it. His oldest son. I can't think of his name to save my life right now. Super nice guy. And Bo Meekins. You know Bo Meekins?
Oh, yeah.
I love me some Bo Meekins. Bo Meekins, just a little thing about Bo. He's somebody that I really look up to in a spiritual world. When it comes to our faith and Christianity and things like that. We go to the same church. And he's a beacon to me, and I look up to him a lot. So I really appreciate them. And I just went down there, and Bo, he was like, hey, what we got? He said, and they're very selective about sponsorships and what they donate to every year. He told me, he said, Justin, I'm really particular about this. He said, but I know that Captain Marty's a first class, good, God-fearing Christian like us. And I'm happy to sponsor his programming. So he's going to be one of our
family.
Yes.
We're kind of like a family.
Yes.
We all have a lot of similar likes and loves, and, what else? Are you at the end of the list? Because I got something I want to say.
That's at the end. That's so far, but I've been in conversation with John Bayless a little bit. I'm getting ready to start talking to the Crossweight brothers. There's a lot of them, Micah Daniels and some of them. And
you do a good job. You're working at it. And speaking of what I wanted to mention in the fishing guide, I'm actually working in I write most of the articles, and Tony Lombardi contributes a little bit on the surf and pier fishing, but we got some really good stuff in there this year. We got a story about the Creeking Committee, which is really funny, about the history of getting thrown overboard around the docks and how all that started and why it continues. We're doing one about respecting Oregon Inlet if you're a do-it-yourselfer in a small boat, and some of the trouble you can get yourself in, and not trying to scare people, trying to save lives. We got that. We got 10 reasons to go pier fishing. We got fish sense makes sense. Fish sense, as in smells, makes sense, as in common sense. That's all about all the new synthetic bait that's, like fish bites, for instance. Okay. Other things that are people like Red Drum Tackle, sell by the boatload. But synthetic. Artificial fish sense.
I'm glad you clarified that, because I was thinking you were talking about fish sense, like the smell of a fish makes sense, like pennies, like sense.
No, it's really more about the bait. To a fish, the scent that it's smelling why it feeds.
So, and because that reminds me of something that I believe that it was a project of yours from years ago. It was a fragrance line, and one of the fragrances was scent of sea mullet.
Yes.
And I remember hearing an ad for it at one point, I wish we could find some of that old stuff, but that's what I thought you were talking about for a second.
Yeah. When a fish gets a whiff of a sand flea, it's like me getting a whiff of a number one superstar at Hardy.
There's that number one superstar again. So. Got it. Well, again, Fishing Guide is underway right now with production, and we're trying to get everything all situated with that, and that'll be out before Memorial Day is the goal, and hopefully we get it out a little sooner than that if possible. It's all depending on what I can get rolling and how fast I can get it rolling for you.
That's right, and they're all provided free thanks to the list of the people that you just mentioned. They're brought free to the public because of our sponsors.
Absolutely. So, it's Capt Marty season right now for me. If you want to be a part of the captain's programming, or you want to possibly get in the Fishing Guide, if you own a business and you want to sponsor the captain, just shoot me an email, justin@outerbanksthisweek.com. Simple as that. And I'm happy to talk to you about how we can make you a part of Captain Marty 2026.
And tell our listeners again how they can find us online.
Oh, that's too simple. So there's a couple different ways, but the best way, in my opinion, to make it as simple as possible is go to Google, type in the word captain and the word Marty.
And if you really want to make it go smooth, add Brill, Brill. That takes you directly to me. So but if you just type in Captain Marty, you'll find me.
Yes, and you'll see where it says, Captain Marty's stories and fishing reports and stories. You click on that, gives you a list. It takes you to our link at outerbanksthisweek.com for Captain Marty section, and you see the fishing reports. The Other Side of Fishing show. If you scroll down a little bit further, there is the stories, which are banked up. And we need to record a few more sometime in the near future, Cap, but that's all right there, and you can find them and you can listen to them anytime. Captain, you know what's crazy about this new format that you've been on since you left radio is I still have fishing reports, and I can see all your numbers. I still have fishing reports of yours from like a year ago that are getting listens. So, I mean, these fishing reports don't go away. They just keep building and building and building and building. So... With all that being said,
that's from the people in Siberia, probably.
You do have some listeners in Switzerland.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you. I mean, that was.
Have they got any hunting land?
Number 2 or number 3. I mean, they're Swiss girls.
Oh yeah, all about the chocolate.
Yes, exactly. But there's you're like your number 2 or number 3 country right now. Honestly, I mean, United States is your number 1. I can't remember what's your number 2, but I'm pretty sure it's like Switzerland is number 2 or number 3. That's no joke. To know. So we might have to do a show on the road and go to Switzerland. Okay. We'll fire up the Lear. I think we maybe Clint Godwin, after he sells enough of this sport fisher,
he'd go with us.
G6. We can just fly high. But anyway, Cap, before we go, let's talk a little bit about what's been biting here lately. What's out there? I know it's been a little bit slower because it's just that time of the year. But I mean, what are we forecasting for?
Well, we go from almost nothing biting. But the one thing that is biting is world class, which is the bluefin tuna.
Yes.
I mean, just over the last few days, there's been some 500 and 600 pound tuna, not a box full of yellowfin, one fish, right. 600 pounds. That season is closed, the giant, what they call the giant season, but you can still catch them and you can still release them. And we have people coming from all over the world. These are not your average charter. These are anglers going to meet personal goals and test high-tech, high-performance fishing tackle. Catching a 400-pound tuna on a spinning rod and reel, they do it.
That's right.
Standing up, incredible. So it's been really good. There's a wide selection of sizes. Other than that, there's nothing going on in the surf and the pier fishing right now that's hardly worth mentioning. Most everything is closed, but we're not far from, we're getting ready to turn the corner. And the first thing, we're already seeing a few sharks and skates, a few puppy drum. What's coming next will be sea mullet will come back. We had them all through last summer. Of course, we know that we had the big cold stun event. And the trout season is closed, but same thing happened last year, and we rebounded from that. So we'll hope we'll do the same. And the hardest fish I've ever tried to catch in my life, and I've caught an 800-pound marlin, was the crappie season. We say crappie in North Carolina, speckled perch. That season's just about to kick off, and you talk about fanatics, Justin, there are people that take that really seriously.
I got a buddy of mine. I've passed him sitting on the shoulder of the road right there by Milltail Road. And that when you come out of Milltail Road to 64, that bend right there has got that big swath of the creek.
Oh, yeah.
He'll sit right there with a line in the water. I see him, and I'm just like, Bobby. His name's Bobby Lambert. He works at Outer Banks Pier. Mm-hmm. And his name's Bobby Lambert. I love him, and he sits right there. And I'm like, gosh, I need to, when I'm not in a hurry, I need to just slow down one day and stop and pull over and just talk to him. And just see what
it's amazing how much freshwater fishing we do have around here.
Yeah.
Because we're all known for the saltwater, but from especially up on the North Beach, up around Duck, up in that neighborhood, and some of those ponds, Nags Head Woods, East Lake, Lake Manamuskeet, and all those canals like you're talking, it's pretty good fishing.
Absolutely. Well, Cap, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Cap Marty's Other Side of Fishing. Again, all brought to you by Red Drum Tackle in Buxton and online at reddrumtackle.com. And of course, we're powering this Captain Marty vessel with some of the best power you can have. One of them being Juan Cheese Marina and the Landing Grill at 4457 Mill Landing Road. Juan Cheese and the Landing Grill, and you can find them online at juancheesemarina.com. And of course, the largest repower center in all of Northeast North Carolina being Radcliffe Marine in Belhaven. You can check them out online as well at radcliffemarine.com. All right, Cap, we're going to head on out the door. And we'll see what happens over the next month fishing-wise. And, hey, another Cap Marty Fishing Show in the books.
All right, Justin. Well, thank you for all you do year-round.
Yes, sir.
And good fishing.
Thank you for listening to The Other Side of Fishing with Captain Marty Brill. All brought to you by Red Drum Tackle. Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app. Just search Captain Marty and share this episode with your favorite fishing friends.